Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on your news leader, former Senator Francis Santos has been tapped to serve as the Guam Department of Education superintendent in an acting capacity. Plus, the Guam Department of Education needs millions more to cover teacher pay increases, despite the big boost from Uncle Sam. And with the influx of illegal foreign nationals arriving on Guam, the local labor department reminds businesses to only hire people authorized to work in the U.S. These stories coming up on KUAM News Primetime.
Hafa and good evening, everyone. I'm Hannah Devonzo, and thanks for tuning in to your news leader. Topping our newscast this evening, he's no stranger to the Guam Department of Education. Francis Santos has been tapped to serve as acting GDOE superintendent starting Saturday, July 16. The Guam Education Board approved the appointment of Santos on Thursday afternoon. His approved salary was $160,000. The incoming acting GDOE superintendent has a message for the public.
First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Maricata and Chairman Mark Manjola and the rest of the GDOE board for their humble and support of my candidacy. So that's first in order. And yes, I'm ready and prepared to start helping the students of Guam.
He noted that he did not apply for the role and isn't pursuing to become it permanently. According to KUAM News Archives, he is a former three-term Guam senator, former member of the GEB, and currently sits on the Consolidated Commission on Utilities. Santos is the current co-chair of the Lou and Josh 2022 gubernatorial campaign. KUAM News has asked him on whether he'll be stepping down from that role, and we did not hear a response as of news time. As we reported, Frank Cooper-Nurse, the acting GDOE Deputy Superintendent of Finance and Administrative Services, will serve his last day as acting superintendent on Friday, July 15th. John Fernandez is leaving the island's largest GovGuam agency to focus on family matters after leading GDOE for the last decade. More than 1,700 Guam Department of Education administrative and support staff should already be receiving their $5,000 retention bonuses. USDOE approved the funding yesterday, totaling some $8.5 million. But while that was a one-time disbursement, GDOE will need millions more going forward to cover the cost of previously approved salary increases for teachers. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Acting GDOE Superintendent Frank Cooperner says they struggled a bit to come up with an amount for what he describes as both a retention and recognition payment for non-educator staff.
But one of the things that we thought would be most appropriate and fair was an across-the-board one-time payment, similar to other districts, school districts in the states on how they use their ARP funding. There's very many ways to establish what's the appropriate amount. Should there be a higher amount? Should there be a lower amount? We thought that the $5,000 was a fair and reasonable amount to, again, recognize the employees for their dedication and continued service to the department, and as well as tie that to retention.
He says it's part retention and part recognition because GDOE does struggle with a relatively high turnover rate, and they wanted to recognize employees for their work during the pandemic who are not part of the educator and nurse pay plans. Those groups already received a raise, which will cost GDOE about $30 million more a year. But Cooperner says the timing was such that it wasn't included in their FY23 budget.
Our request went in at $268, and we kind of planned the fiscal year budget around that in terms of our contractuals, our critical contracts, the level of support, power, water, and personnel costs. So ideally, the $30 million would be a separate piece of legislation to fund the estimated personnel costs. Now, if that's included in the general appropriation of the $268, then we would like to see the respective amount increase accordingly. Otherwise, that'll be, putting us in some challenging financial position.
A $30 million shortfall, to be specific. For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
A controversial wave of foreign nationals entering Guam at unofficial points of entry are raising concerns within the community, and now the local labor department is stepping in to remind businesses not to hire anyone without proper legal documentation. Nestor Lecanto has more.
There have been multiple incidents in the past few months of foreign nationals arriving from the CNMI aboard small boats. Federal and local authorities are still sorting through how to deal with the arrivals, who, according to Customs Director Ike Pareto, are allowed to enter. Labor officials say they may be drawn here by the prospects of better paying jobs. But Alien Labor Processing and Certification Division Administrator Greg Massey reminds businesses to make sure anyone they hire can be legally employed here.
We just wanted to send a clear message to the community that we are out there. There is a law that requires that you only hire those people who are authorized to work in the U.S.
He says upon hiring, employees must present proof of their status, and there are a variety of documents that are acceptable. He says they will be stepping up inspections and visiting job sites they may not normally go to.
If our team goes out and catches a worker on a job site that isn't authorized to work, there are fines.
The first offense is a $1,000 fine and possible 30-day business license suspension, and it escalates from there up to the revocation of a license. Massey is hesitant to make any assumptions about those who recently made their way to Guam by small boat. He knows that multiple agencies are working the issue, but when it comes to immigration, he says, it's always case by case.
As far as Department of Labor is concerned, we regulate the employer, and we want to make sure that the jobs that are out there that are being taken by people who are authorized to work in the U.S. We got to save those jobs for our people who need it, and those that aren't authorized to work shouldn't be working.
For KUAM News, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
And it was another heated morning between the defense and prosecution in Superior Court during the trial of Sir Hanu and former Port Police officer Frank James San Nicolas, who's being accused of raping a woman inside of a cave in Tangisan back in May of 2020. A hot topic of debate was whether to allow the son of San Nicolas, Hilaan San Nicolas, to conduct his testimony in Chamorro and utilize an interpreter, although he previously testified in English and fluently speaks it. Defense attorney Jay Areola and prosecuting attorney Rochelle Canto went head-to-head on the matter.
Interesting. Attorney General's office doesn't speak Chamorro, and somehow they have something to do with the Chamorro language.
The court denied Areola's request to have their witness testify in Chamorro. Trial will continue in Judge Arthur Barcina's courtroom. And more details have been revealed in an incident first reported as an active shooter at St. Paul's Christian School. 27-year-old John Joseph Flores Jr. was arrested Tuesday, accused of being the masked man who stole an airsoft gun from the GDOE school on July 1st. Court documents state Flores allegedly got into a lounge in the school where an employee kept their belongings. The employee discovered several items missing, including an Xbox One console and a black airsoft rifle. Another employee interviewed reported that he was approached by a person wearing an airsoft mask. He said the masked man yelled, "Do you remember me? You threw a rock at me," and then pointed what appeared to be a rifle at his head. The man, later identified as Flores, fled after he heard someone approaching. Flores apparently once worked at a construction site near the school, according to another witness. Police interviewed the man on July 8, who said Flores approached him for a ride on the day of the crime. He said Flores was holding what appeared to be a gun. Although Flores was captured on surveillance at the school, police weren't able to locate him until July 12. He was charged with second-degree robbery, burglary, and theft of property, according to court documents. Despite already being on felony release for a 2019 burglary, Georgina Kenga was arrested again for a similar crime. According to a magistrate's complaint, the incident happened at an Asin home on June 7th when the residents were asleep. 2 residents reported seeing a white Nissan Frontier leaving the home, a pickup she was known to drive. A check of surveillance footage revealed her allegedly climbing through the back window of the residence. Several items were reported missing from the home, including a tool and a bottle of soy sauce. Kenga wasn't arrested, however, until July 12th during a traffic stop, court documents state. She's facing a burglary charge with notice of felony committed while on felony release. According to KUAM News Files, in July of 2019, an 80-year-old man reported Kenga had burglarized his home, taking more than $30,000 worth of jewelry and other items. Despite the victim showing police the surveillance footage of the woman going through his home and giving them her name, Kenga wasn't arrested for another 6 months. At the time, she told police she stole the man's Rolex watch and other items, pawning them for financial problems and ice. A man is in stable condition at the Guam Memorial Hospital after an auto pedestrian accident on Tuesday evening. At about 8:33 p.m., units from the Guam Fire Department responded to Route 1 southbound in front of Denny's to a report of an auto pedestrian accident. When units arrived, medics transported the male pedestrian to the hospital. According to the Guam Police Department spokesperson, Berlin Sevilla, the man is being closely monitored. She adds that the Highway Patrol Division is currently investigating the crash and will provide more information once available. Guam gas prices went down another 15 cents on Wednesday, according to Shell 76, Circle K, and mobile gas stations. Billboards, the price at the pumps dropped to $5.75 from $5.90. This is the fourth time normal prices decreased after Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed a law that temporarily lifts the liquid fuel tax, which was 3 weeks ago. And still to come on your news leader, with the uptick in COVID cases, how has GRMC been managing? And later, how you can donate to the Snack Pack program. These stories and more coming up next.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot.
Pop my classic and spicy 50-50 popcorn chicken combo, only at Jack in the Box.
Half a day. I'm Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I'm proud to report that we have opened a new relief center to help you as we continue to recover from the pandemic.
From healthcare to welfare, childcare, housing, and utilities, we have a wide variety of direct relief programs available to help you.
This central location provides direct access to most of our public assistance programs under one roof. Our friendly staff are ready to help you through the application process.
We are working to ensure you get the assistance you need to receive the relief available to you and your family.
This means more support to help you meet the cost of living and give you more money in your pocket.
We are improving how government is working. Our administration continues to invest in Guam's future, delivering relief and driving our recovery.
We are all in this together.
Visit the Government of Guam Relief Center at the 3rd floor of the Bank of Hawaii building in Hagåtña, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call us at 671-475-2060.
Unified Communications, UC, is the next step in a business phone system. Introducing Docomo Pacific UC, your business phone. Instant messaging, video, voicemail, fax, and more. All unified on one platform and delivered through the cloud. Merge your desk phone with your mobile device. Turn voice calls into video conference. UC reduces phone costs. UC boosts productivity. Work better together with Docomo Pacific UC.
4 years ago, we expressed our belief that a strong economy depends on a strong middle class, that small businesses need help to survive in tough times, and new industries are needed to diversify our economic base. The pandemic proved us right in so many ways.
We said we would support tax cuts for small businesses, and we did. We said we would streamline government services to create a more business-friendly environment, and we are. We said we would invest in infrastructure improvements, and we have. We said we would expand opportunities for our people to learn much-needed trades, and we delivered.
Let's continue this progress. We are all in this together, and we humbly ask for your vote. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and I approve this message.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam On Demand.
Welcome back. Veterans, war survivors, island residents, and GovGuam leaders congregated Thursday morning to commemorate the landing site for the Marianas during World War II in Assen. Wreaths were laid in front of a flagpole by those in attendance to remember those who suffered and sacrificed In the days leading up to Guam's liberation, May Pelicani, a war survivor and resident of Chalampago, was just 4 years old when the Japanese occupation of Guam occurred. She recalled some of her terrifying experiences.
Basically, I remember, I know, you know how our older people were carrying food and stuff like that. And I remember I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm so tired, and I'm sorry, we can't help you. We had to go, and I was so tired. Sometimes I had to sit down and rest. Mom, can you just wait? I'm so tired already. He says, Mom, May, we have to keep going. We have to keep going. We're almost there, but I know it's still far where we're going. But we just, some patience just to wait till we get to our destination.
Pelicani shared that her family was relieved of fear and pain when they got the news that Guam was recaptured from the Japanese forces.
Oh my God, please, that was I think all of our heart just kind of, burst in happiness what's going on.
The area played as the beginning of Guam's freedom from World War II's nearly 8 years ago. And they've been one of the hospitals fighting against the COVID pandemic from the very beginning. And now with the cases gradually going up, officials from the Guam Regional Medical City detailed how they've been handling the uptick. Daniel Perez reports.
The Guam Regional Medical City has been experiencing a rise in positive COVID cases, much like their public counterpart, the Guam Memorial Hospital. And just like them, patients are coming in for a completely different reason other than COVID, but end up testing positive for it. Confirmed by GRMC Chief Medical Officer Dr. Bo Whalard.
Some people have pretty mild symptoms or they're asymptomatic, and so yeah, they don't necessarily seek medical treatment for that reason, and then it turns out they're here for something else, and we end up finding out that they do test positive for COVID. I think the other component is just that COVID has now touched so many people, especially in our community, that some people will tend to be persistently positive, for various reasons when they are tested. So we see people that, end up testing positive because they've had a history of COVID or they've, been infected with COVID in the last few months.
But although the cases are up, hospitalizations remain minimal at GRMC, with 6 people admitted there for COVID-19. Dr. Whalard gave his thoughts on why hospitalization numbers are low.
We've learned about the transmission and sort of the way that COVID is, it's present even when we're not expecting it in many cases. And so I think we're seeing a lot of that. I think overall also the sense is that the severity of the variants we see now is just a bit less.
Dr. Whalard said with island residents experiencing what can now be called pandemic fatigue, meaning they're tired of hearing about the COVID pandemic, he still reminds everyone that the virus is still around.
I think that despite several years of struggling with this, at this point, we know that really your best protection and your community's best protection, your family's best protection is vaccination and boosters for vaccination. And if you get sick, that you isolate yourself and get tested. And so those sort of simple tenets that have been the case since the beginning, they still hold true today.
Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.
Over in the Northern Marianas, the medical referral program is now back in the hands of the island's only hospital and not in the executive branch. Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia speaks with CEO Esther Muña on how they're expanding access to care.
The CNMI Medical Referral Program is back in the hands of the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation this fiscal year after being housed in the executive branch through an executive order by the late Governor Eloy Enos in 2013.
Those were rough years for CHCC because of the financial, aspects of it, right? It was, I think it was only budgeted, $5 million a year, for a hospital to run. And so there was a lot of things that were concerning, and I guess the EO was to address, to ensure that the process of referral was not hindered by the financial situation of the hospital at the time.
Now hospital CEO Muña says the hospital has grown up and they've been unpacking the package and regulations and how best to address the concerns of the public, looking back at audit reports and adjusting the services.
One of the things that we did was we tried to remove the barriers of, before, for example, when somebody needs to go on referral, They have to wait a week. Sometimes it may take more than that because of the packet that needs to be prepared. And then it has to be presented towards to the committee, and the committee makes that decision. The members of the committee are really CHCC providers. So we decided, why go through that if you have your providers already being seen at the hospital. So there are two options. You can get it through the committee, or you could actually be seen by our hospital.
And that need is not going away. They've seen an influx of patients in recent weeks.
We're seeing a lot lately. It's been probably about 50 a week we process. 50 a week is a lot.
The hospital now looks to hospitals in South Korea with the return of direct flights from Saipan. Options also include virtually any hospital in the States that they're able to ink an agreement with. Muñoz says they're also waiting on action on House Bill 22-77 HS1, which would create the Medical Travel Assistance Program, updating regulations that would give the hospital the ability to shift to a network system that would create a two-way street for patients to seek care with more providers and allow doctors to provide care on the island. When it comes to cash, Muñoz says they hope to not just use ARPA funds to send patients to get care, but give local doctors the tools they need to provide the best care on island first.
We want to be able to try to have these services done here, and try as much as possible to take care of our patients here.
Tomas Manglonia for KUAM News.
The Guam Department of Education invites the public to participate at its summer school fair this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Agana Shopping Center. The exhibit's mission is to give the community an idea of strategies GDOE is executing to address the loss of instructional time during the global COVID-19 pandemic, as well as high school credit recovery. All 40 GDOE summer schools will have students' projects and lessons on display at the event, according to GDOE Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Joe Sanchez.
Where all the schools from kindergarten all the way to high school are going to be having just little booths to kind of either demonstrate or just show or present, what they did over the summer. Obviously, because we have 40 schools participating, it's going to be a lot of schools, but we ask schools to kind of just, give a summary, give one or two presentations as to what, went on during the summer. So that way, parents and anybody in the community can come see what type of work was being done, with the students.
Other topics attendees can see covered at the outreaches are STEM robotics, engineering, sciences, sustainable gardening, PBS University, modern and cultural dance, reading and math strategies, and digital applications, among others. For more information, email davccamacho@gdoe.net. Be Heartfelt is fighting food insecurity by providing food to children in need with their snack pack program. Since their start in November of 2021, the nonprofit organization has distributed over 1,000 snack packs to the island's youth. Be Heartfelt Chief Executive Officer Lori Marsh-Marble explained that many kids rely on school-provided meals for nourishment.
On the weekend, a lot of these kids won't have any source of food. And so we work with the teams at school to recognize the kids most at risk, and it privately goes into their backpack so that no one knows that they're receiving food.
The snack pack program will accept donations at Cost You Less, both Harmon and Tamuning locations, on Friday from 4 to 7 and Saturday from 11 to 3. To find out ways to donate and volunteer, visit BeHeartfelt.com. And stay tuned. Up next, Dave Delgado with your roundup of local sports, and later, Head of the Class. You're watching KUAM.
Santa Fe family.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels, that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the Super American Circus is back on Guam, performing 8 shows per week at the PIC Hotel. Witness thrilling acts like the Motorcycle Team and the Globe of Danger, the Amazing Skywheel, the High Flying Motorcycle, acrobats, beautiful aerial ballerinas, jugglers, and more. Get your tickets at www.superamericancircus.com. Get free kids tickets at Burger King and Circle K 76, valid for the month of July. Presented by Burger King and Circle K 76.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Attention all middle and high school students, this summer, JA Guam is inviting you to the JA Inspire Virtual Career Exploration Fair. You can register at ja-guam.org and learn about the different industries to consider for your future careers. On July the 12th, we'll be at the GCC Multipurpose Room to conduct JA Economics for Success. And then on September 10th, we launch the 2023 JA Company Program. Again, that's ja-guam.org, so register today. This is sponsored by the Bank of Hawaii, SBDC, Title Guarantee, Graphic Center, Matson, GPO, Deloitte, GTA, and KUAM.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
In fitness news, athletes continue to put in work for the upcoming Michelob Ultra NPC Guam National Bodybuilding Championships. Competitors hit the stage July 23rd at the Riga Royal Laguna, Guam.
Happy day, everybody. My name is Nicole Glory. I am from GDOE. I will be competing in the bodybuilding bikini division. This is going to be my first show ever. For the longest time, I've always dreamed of going up on stage, and what pushes me the most is the journey it takes to get there. You know, the challenges, the sacrifices, and everything. Honestly, this prep has got to be very challenging. I had to go through things that I never expected, and that on top of my work life and prep, it was a big challenge. I always tried my best to never let it get in the way of my training, no matter the obstacles that have been constantly put in my way. I still continue to show up to the best of my ability and to put in the work that I need to. My message to everyone who is thinking about competing, honestly, just do it. It's a journey, it's an experience, it's something that you can say that you did it. And all of the hardships and all of the struggles and the sacrifices that you put into, it's all going to be worth it in the end.
The Bud Light Women's Soccer League returns for the first time in over 2 years to the Guam Football Association National Training Center, beginning this weekend with both Premier and Amateur Division matches. The Premier Division officially kicks off Saturday with the match between the Strikers and Guam Shipyard at 8:30 p.m. The Metro Pacific Islanders FC and Quality Distributors play on Sunday at 6 p.m. A total of 7 teams comprise the league's Amateur Division: Bank of Guam Strikers 2, Heavy Hitters Nutrition Mission Southern Heat, Mosas, Napa Rovers FC, Sidekick SC, GPSI Southern Cobras, and the Tsunami, all hitting the pitch this season. Register now for the Boys and Girls Co-ed Summer Youth Camp at the National Training Center in Teasan, presented by the Guam Basketball Confederation. To register, check out www.guam.basketball. For additional information, check out info@guam.basketball.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
We've made a lot of breakfasts, and along the way, we noticed something was missing. A warm cinnamon roll for breakfast, or with breakfast. A fluffy blueberry muffin from the drive-thru you're already driving through. A glazed apple fritter, which might find its way into your coffee. These are options every breakfast haver should have, and now they do. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Hafiday, Guahan families! Are you interested in getting your Hunter Education certification? The Department of Agriculture's Hunter Education Program is hosting ongoing in-person classes open to Guam residents ages 13 and older. You'll learn hunter ethics and responsibility, wildlife conservation, basics of firearm and shooting skills, hunting equipment and techniques, survival skills, outdoor field skills, and more. The class meets the International Hunter Education Association national standards and does not expire. Attendees must pre-register in advance by emailing jane.dia@doag.guam.gov. Student manuals must be completed before the class day. Classes are open on a first-come, first-served basis. Students under 18 must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. And if you can't attend our in-person class, don't worry. You may also register for the online Hunter Education Certification course by emailing jane.dia@doag.guam.gov. Safe hunting begins with Hunter Education.
Free 4-hour residential construction safety and injury prevention trainings available on Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, August 1st to the 5th. Designed for employers and workers and others involved in residential construction safety. For more information, please visit viahawaii.org or call 808-629-7505.
Welcome back. We continue with highlighting the top students at the island's high schools. Here's another head of the class.
Congratulations, class of 2022, presented by the University of Guam.
My name is Eunice Georgie de Belen. I attend John F. Kennedy High School in Tamuning, and I'm the valedictorian for the graduating class of 2022. The highlight of my high school career is going through the whole pandemic and surviving it, and feeling like I succeeded during my years in high school. It isn't a hard thing to go through, so having gone through that and successfully finished it is something that I think was a success for me. And for an activity that I've done in high school that I'm proud of is, I think, being in the Guam Daily Post, The Scoop. So I write for our local newspaper, and writing there for the past 3 years was something that I'm really proud of. And I think being in the research project for robotics was also something that I worked hard on, put on most of my time, and successfully finished and accomplished. So that is some of the highlights of my high school year. A teacher that made a difference in my life is Miss Colette Beausoleil, my physics, robotics, and pre-engineering teacher. So she taught me a lot of 3 different subjects, and she was also our mentor for our robotics team that we competed on for the UAV research. So she's one of the mentors that I have that really made a difference in my life, because I saw the passion that she had, which inspired me to really look into what inspires me, what drives me, what motivates me, and cultivate that to improve myself and achieve whatever I'm dreaming of. And she also guided me through the years, helped me out. She was my teacher from junior year to senior year, and I've learned a lot of things from her. not just in the academic sense, but also the outside aspect of it, the social aspect also. And I learned a lot of different study habits and improving my skills in general. So she's one of the advisors that really helped me out the most. After high school, I'm planning to attend Stanford University and possibly pursue a pre-medical degree. My ultimate career goal is to be financially stable so that I can give back to my family and also for myself. So I didn't grow up rich or something like that. So being financially stable and be able to like travel with my family, help them out, give them things that they didn't have before, and provide things for me that I didn't easily acquire during my years. So that's something that I aspire to have, to be financially stable, yeah.
Hello, my name is Cesar Rosas. I attend John F. Kennedy High School in Tuban, and I'm the salutatorian for the graduating class of 2022. Some of my highlights in my high school years would probably be me joining track and field. It really taught me how to play as a team, and I got to connect with a bunch of unique and diverse people. One teacher that I had in high school that really changed how I saw life would probably be Mr. Ortega. He was my world geography teacher in my freshman year, and he just taught me how to take life just easy. Don't really focus on the grades as much. You know, if you get a good grade, then that's great. But if something bad happens, then you can move on. My plan right now after high school is probably just going to the States to attend Oregon State University and majoring in chemical engineering. My ultimate career goal would probably, first off, graduating college and becoming a chemical engineer. But I would like to work somewhere in like the petroleum or nuclear reactor business, because I really think that nuclear plant energy is the future.
Congratulations, class of 2022, presented by the University of Guam.
And we wrap up the show with your birthday shout-outs. Here's Jason Salas.
This Thursday, July 14th, happy birthday to Edelyn, who celebrates birthday number 3 this year. We love you, baby girl, from the Pinzon families. And one of our family members, the one and only Daniel Perez. Daniel, my brother, you are a heck of a lot younger than me and most of us around here. But hey, you know, you're still a rookie reporter, but you are a really, really good storyteller. Man, we're so happy to have you as a part of our team, as a part of our family, and we wish you, bro, the very, very happiest birthday we can. So, for the both of you, we wish you an outstanding Thursday and happy birthday!
You can be a part of our Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by checking out KUAM.com. And that's our show. I'm Hannah Devonzo. Thanks for watching, and please stay safe, Guam.